competition point. So here we go then. The second bowl semi-finals, Samoa against Australia. Samoa, the defending Dubai champions. So disappointing. Yesterday they lost 2 games in pool play against Argentina and South Africa, but they lead Australia 25-24 in the series. They last met last month on the Gold Coast, where Australia defeated the Islanders by 12 points to 0. Samoa once again captained by schoolteacher Ripena Lavasa. He can draw on the experience of Alitasi Tupau, and amongst the forwards he has Levi Asifa Amatala to bring the experience, and Falesa Oyalo. Well, this is his 3rd season, but just his 6th tournament. For Australia, Ed Jenkins, he is the general, he's the captain, and they scored a hatful of tries earlier on against the States, with Sean McMahon again catching the eye, and Con Foley getting 2 of those 7 tries. So joining me for this match is South African Gavin Cowley, and plenty for these 2 teams to play for. Valuable competition points, and both teams disappointing and disappointed on day 1, and a chance for them to recover and to atone for those losses.
Yes, sadly so, but still, as you say, the points on offer right to the end, and I think that's one of the joys of these sevens competitions too, that it keeps everybody interested right to the end to make sure that you can get some points. You can see Samоa having won 2, lost 2, so it really hasn't been a tournament for the defending champions. They've been extremely disappointing, but Australia, well, at times they've been up, at times they've been down.
Ian Tempest from England takes charge of this match. And in the World Series head-to-head, there we are, there is confirmation that Samoa just edged Australia by 1, 25-24. The green and gold of Australia, that's Paul Asquith, a young man from a rugby league background, and against the hard-hitting Samoans, he'll have to draw on that experience. That is one certainty. The only uncertainty is the outcome of this match. It could go either way. Levi Asifa Amatala from the Vailele club, current Samoan Sevens champions. Into midfield, the first pass goes astray. The kick looks a little too strong, or is it? No, it's not. And the captain, Ed Jenkins, goes over for the opening try. A mistake by Samoa, miscommunication in midfield, and that's meat and drink for a player of Ed Jenkins' calibre.
Well, they started using the width of the field, did Samоa, some very, very quick hands too, but unfortunately, it's that ball going astray. And Ed Jenkins, really important score this for Australia to get ahead mentally of the Samoans in this match.
Yeah, the Samoans just looking at themselves as Paul Asquith scuffs that one. But Australia have the early lead, the opening score. They're ahead by 5-0. And interestingly, I sure think you spotted that on the backs of the players. There's a little pocket which harbours a little GPS tracker, so that can tell the coaches, you know, how hard these players have played and what contribution they've made to the relative success or failure of their team.
Well, we need to suggest, of course, that it's not for the gum guard.
It's not for commentators either.
And not for commentators either, sure. So we're going to come a very long way back after that kick downfield that rolled into touch in goal. And that'll please the Australians.
Yeah, Australia there up amongst the top try scorers by virtue of that 7-try demolition this morning of the United States in the bowl quarter-final. But New Zealand having scored 20 in the main cup competition. And that's what counts.
Time off, please, no ball.
Just waiting for a ball to arrive. Australia were finalists on the Gold Coast. They were runners-up to New Zealand, but they played an extra time, 10 minutes of extra time in, I think it was the semi-final, and that took a lot out of them. Snapped up there quickly by Tom Lucas, it was, the halfback for Australia. In they go. Asquith. Now it comes into midfield. Ed Jenkins, the try scorer, taking on the Samoan defence. Australia there in numbers once again, and the quick ball for Luke Morahan just brushing aside the tackle of Onione Fa'afao. It's all Australia at the moment. The knock-on by Samoa is being played here by referee Tempest, and sometimes you have to retreat in order to make ground, but no advantage to Australia, and referee Tempest will call them back for the original offence.
The comedy of knock-ons there, quite a few for Ian Tempest to have chosen from.
This is the 5th game for both of these teams, and in the scorching sun of Dubai, the teams and the players have to be managed very carefully, making sure that they're hydrated properly. Timing is of the essence, and timing of the pass there, and the charge from Paul Asquith, taken to ground by Asifa Amatala. Numbers over on the right as Confoley cuts back inside. Had to be a penalty there. Chance for Samoa with ball in hand. Let's see what they can do. Tupau with a shock of hair. Out wide it goes to Oyalo. Tupau taking that up above his head. That's halted their progress. Australia competing for every scrap of possession, putting pressure on the Islanders. Tupau in danger of becoming isolated there, but he's done well to keep the ball alive and retain possession. The kick and the chaser from Sani Niue. Back there for Australia is Luke Morahan. He'll get there first, but he needs some help here. Good work here by Samoa initially.
Please don't play the man on the floor. You must go on the ball.
Yep.
Play the man off his feet.
Key thing here, just have a look there. Down they go. He shows the daylight and then leans over onto the player. So initially, the correct decision there from the Samoan players. One of the things Australia, I think, have really got to guard against is playing too deep against Samoa. And they've got to try and get in behind them. That's the most important thing. As Samoa going forward will be very, very competitive. We've seen they've got a desire to move the ball quite wide. And they've certainly got the skill set to go with it, and the tenacity.
Ball drifting back on the Australian side as Tom Lucas takes it up to the Samoan 10-metre line.
Penalty advantage, hands pass ball.
It's another penalty indiscretion by Samoa. They have to be careful. We've seen 1 or 2 yellow cards over the last couple of days. Luke Morahan brings in Greg Jelodev on the angle. There's a gap over on the narrow side if it can be probed by Confoley here. A change of direction from Morahan to Lucas in midfield. Good defence work here by Samoa initially, but the threat is still there, posed by Paul Asquith. And again, it's Ed Jenkins with a breakthrough. The captain gets a second score this match and his second try.
Well, Sevens rugby is all about having the right people in the right place at the right time. Ed Jenkins with those 2 tries. And it was Greg Jiladev initially, who's a 100-metre sprinter, who's a valuable person to have at the end of a move. But Ed Jenkins going straight down the middle.
Yeah, we're looking there at the player of the tournament on the Gold Coast, Ed Jenkins. Restored to the captaincy. He was injured for the sort of last part of last season.
Looks good now. Make sure guys plays.
So as the first half winds down to 0, Australia have a healthy lead, 12 points to 0. Good restart there, the big hit coming in from Ed Jenkins, and it's not often you'll see a Samoan stay down after a tackle, but that's where Asifa Amatala is. Prosted on the ground, holding his hip there. Look at this tackle.
Oh, it was just a great kick in that, wasn't it? All the hang time that you needed. And Paul Asquith making 100% sure of that kick, and then that brilliant tackle from Ed Jenkins.
Well, the Samoan coach Viliamo Punivalu questioned the commitment of his players yesterday. There's no doubting the commitment of captain Ed Jenkins with that tackle on Asifa Amatala. 2 tries for the captain Ed Jenkins, and Australia lead Samoa by 12-0 at half-time.
those wonderful performances of Samoa just 12 months ago. You remember Paul Perez, who had a fantastic tournament here. They were the winners of the tournament. They look pretty much a shadow of that, but bearing in mind there's a lot of changes too that have been made, and they'll be looking to get on the front foot in the second half.
Just listening there to the referee, Ian Tempest, just waiting for permission to restart the game, saying to Alitasi Tupou, warm, eh? And that's an Englishman telling a South Sea Islander. Here comes Samoa, fighting back here, lighting the blue touch paper there, was Tulolo. He's the top try scorer for Samoa this weekend with 5. He could certainly do with 1 or 2 here as Samoa trail Australia by 2 tries. In goes Onioni Fa'afau, keeping the ball alive. Far greater urgency in the Samoan play at the top of this second half. Lost forward by Alitasi Tupou. He'll be disappointed.
I'll have a look at that ball given away, but also the errors made. There's another 4 to add to that too, and the cumulative of that just shows you that Samoa, and it's against very little from Australia. They've had an accurate game, Australia, with much of what they've done.
Well, that has been the problem for Samoa this weekend. The errors, the number of errors that they have committed.
Sorry. Time on. Crouch.
And they're still in the hunt here. If they can get a score.
Set. Taken back in.
Ball taken back into the 22. It's a bit untidy.
Second action clear on the floor. Go 10.
Quickly taken by Leololo. And away goes Onioni Fa'afau. Samoa have clawed 1 back, and they're back at the races.
Well, surprisingly easy for Samoa, but they changed direction. That was initially some good run there from Leololo to open up that space for Fa'afau. And again, it's an indication of ability. Once they're on the front foot, they're extremely dangerous side.
So Tupou. Far out on the far side. That's an excellent kick. And that has brought Samoa back within 1 score, 12-7. And they'll be looking to claim the restart here, courtesy of that try for Fa'afau on his debut here in Dubai in the blue of Samoa. Samoa last year, 3rd time they'd reached the final in Dubai, but that was their first win ever. Of course, series champions in 2010, coached then by Stephen Beetham. Now the national 15s coach.
That might be a little disappointing for the Australians, that Ian Tempest has suggested that there was a knock on there. They might not be that happy with it. Just look at the restarts retained. 40% there, Samoa.
No, that's not good enough at this level.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Clean ball. A little kick by Tulolo. We're falling into the hands of the Australian number 8.
James Stannard there, who was part of that mix.
I'm not sure that I got the right number. Now this looks more promising from Luke Morahan. The kick, the chase. Tupou is back there. Will the bounce be kind? Now then, did Morahan get there? How close was that?
Please wait. Ball's gone dead.
Yeah, assistant referee right on the spot there when that's perfectly positioned. Good play that by the officials. It was very tight. Tupou was right up there. Morahan looking to touch it. Oh, I tell you what, that's a try.
That certainly was. Well, it's a let-off for Samoa.
6.
Didn't hear the Australians protesting too much, but that was a great effort by Luke Morahan, and that's his last contribution to this game.
We absolutely didn't hear them, but you know, again, it's such a crucial stage of this game. 5 points in it. Here we go. And you know, the side angle just showed exactly he got the touchdown before the line.
So Samoa, having escaped from jail, just about managed to keep the ball alive through Leo Lolo. Well, his contribution has been good since he's come on. This is better. That neat little hitch kick from Rupena Lavasa, the captain, his try scorer. Into the wide open spaces, not a bad kick. In fact, it's a pretty good kick, meant for Leo Lolo. One more pass, oh, the feint from Leo Lolo, and a stroll in from the number 5. Needs to dot it down. Well, whereas Australia should have had a try down the far end of the field, Samoa suddenly are right back in it.
Oh, very controversial set of circumstances, but a lovely little cross kick there. Beautiful take from Leolara. Now watch out, he gets the little dummy there and then decides to stroll through. The key thing for Australia was to try and keep him as far out as possible with them locked at 12 all. A minute and a half left. This conversion's vital.
Well, this for the lead, and Tupou has taken it back to the 22 to make the angle a little better for him. That's not a bad attempt. It looks good. It is good. And Samoa have stolen the lead from Australia, just as when Australia were looking to run away with this one. Samoa have fought back.
Watch, please. Time off.
I see the value there of a really good kick. Aimed and geared towards your play. You've got a very tall man in Leo Lolo.
So minute 20 remaining then.
Start the watch when he kicks the ball, please.
Samoa again will look to win the restart. It's a high kick from Tupou. Palm down there by Australia. They've got their hands on the ball here. And Samoa have to be careful, off their feet here. Advantage Australia, and was knocked.
Well, that's a potential yellow card there too for negative play.
Well, it's given Samoa a chance to regroup.
That ball knocked away, but Australia have an opportunity now with less than a minute.
So if it's to happen for Australia, it has to happen here. The ball has gone loose. Jed Jenkins, the captain, recovers.
Advantage is over.
Stannard. Out it comes to Shannon Walker, the speedster. 30 seconds. Can Australia get the score that will take them to the bowl final? Maloof goes to ground. It's dug out again. Well taken by Stannard. Shannon Walker to straighten up the attack. Breaks through the first tackle, and away he goes. Shannon Walker chases Tupou. He does well initially. One more pass to do it, and it's Stannard over, and Australia are into the bowl final. Samoa having clawed their way back into this match. They were within 30 seconds of the bowl final. The defending Dubai champions bowed out of the cup yesterday evening, and now they bow out of the competition completely. Shannon Walker, his influence has been great.
And we saw the importance there of getting in behind the Samoans. Tupou unable to hold him with a lovely little offload. And, well, one's got to say that one feels Australia deserved to win this match and to contest the bowl final.
Shannon Walker then takes Australia to the bowl final. Samoa 14, Australia 19.
I'm with the try scorer, James Stannard. James, probably one of the easier ones you'll score, but a really important try, I think, in the context of your tournament.
Yeah, mate, definitely. We were behind the 8 ball there with only a minute to go, and the boys really stepped up, this game. We changed our defensive patterns, and it was all the work before that got those tries. So.
You must be disappointed to be in the bowl. How important was it today, and how much did you talk about coming out and showing some fight?
Mate, it's very important. Like, we got our hopes in to get into that cup final every time, and then after Gold Coast, he was up there, but just disappointed after the result. But come out new day, and the bowl's up for grabs, and we won it.
Thanks, James.
Cheers.